This is my Beat Buddy Mini version 2. The pedal is designed to be utilized on the floor. And the foot switch starts it, does drum fills, does transitions, and stops it. You can add a foot switch to it, a dual non-latching foot switch, that will also give you a splash cymbal and a pause button, but it's all mounted to the floor. While being on the floor, it makes it really difficult to change the genre, the song, or the tempo in between tunes. So I wanted to mount the Beat Buddy Mini onto my mic stand where it was reachable and I could still talk to the people. So this video is about how I did that. Here we have the Beat Buddy, a stereo patch cord, and a dual non-latching foot switch. Now I can mount the Beat Buddy right to my mic stand, and utilizing the patch cord I can control the start, the stopping, the fills, and the transitions from the left foot switch, and from the right I can pause it. So on the Beat Buddy, on the left side there's an output jack. That output jack, I send the signal to my mixer, which is mounted on my mic stand. From there I can control the volume and EQ it, and then out of the mixer to my powered speakers. On the right hand side, you can see that I've added a jack there on the right hand side. The two on the left are exactly as they were. Nothing there has been altered. So let's dig into the unit and I'll show you how I accomplished it. After removing the screws, you may choose to do what I did, and that is when you reinstall everything and you want to mount it to your mic stand with Velcro, flip it over and simply put your Velcro there and then mount it to a clamp-on platform or some other device that you would like to use on your mic stand, or to a little side table, anything. But this allows you not to ruin all of the ID here for the unit. A full disassembly of the unit is required to do what you are about to do. And keep in mind, this is going to void your warranty. So be sure that this is what you would like to accomplish. First of all, to disassemble, this little screw right here needs to be removed, as well as this one over here. Now, if you flip it to its side, take a wrench and remove these two little nuts here, as well as the one on this side. This foot switch does not need to be removed, so you can leave it intact. Next, pull up on the knobs and remove them. They come off quite easy. Underneath, you will see that there is a nut here and a nut down here, and these two need to be removed. So with needle nose pliers, you should be able to accomplish that. I found it quite easy. Before you take the board out, we do need to take some measurements. You will need to measure the distance from the printed circuit board to the top lip where the bottom part of the unit recesses in, right here. So once you determine that, that will allow you to know how much room you have for the jack that you have to purchase. There are a few different styles that work. The one that you see here in front of you that I used, or another one which is like this. Now, you will need to make some measurements, and you also need to make sure that it is a stereo jack, a 1/4-inch stereo jack that has a ground pole, it will have a ring pole, and it will have a tip pole. If you don't know exactly what I mean by that, on the stereo cable, this is the ground, this is the ring, and this is the tip. On my unit, the depth to the printed circuit board is 21 millimeters. The size of this jack is 19 millimeters. So you can see that drilling the hole has to be as accurate as possible. When drilling your hole, make sure that you start with a center punch to punch it precisely where you want it, and then start and use a very small bit and gradually work your way up to the size of bit that you need for the jack to fit properly. Don't oversize it too much. You want the jack to fit snug. Now, if you need to elongate the hole to make sure that it fits properly, you can use a metal file and file it gently up or down to elongate the hole so that it fits correctly. But be sure to start with a small bit and move to the full-size bit. Otherwise, you will have problems if you try to go full size right away. Now that you've drilled your hole and you've removed all of the metal shavings out of the box and it's completely clean, put the circuit board back in and using the 2 screws, screw it down to the surface. Now where you are going to put the jack, cover that area right there with black electrical tape. You don't want to be sliding this jack around on top of that printed circuit board and scratching anything up. On your new jack, you will have a ground post, you will have a ring post, and you will also have a tip post, even if you use this style. When you come over to the Beat Buddies original foot switch, you will see that it has a ground, a ring, and a tip. The ground, run a jumper wire, about 22 gauge, and solder here and solder to the ground lug on your switch, regardless of whichever jack you have. Next, take the same jumper wire or different jumper wire and solder from the ring to the ring of your jack. The last wire is coming off of the switch in the unit. There are 2 little solder joints right here. Using the one closest to the jack, solder your jumper wire gently here and run it over to the tip on your new jack. This will control the starting, the fills, the transitions, and the double tap stop. This other one over here, running to the ring, will control the pause. The ground wire simply connects the 2. This is my dual non-latching foot switch. You have foot switches on both sides, a left and a right. And the foot switches have 2 posts. One post on each foot switch will go to the ground. The other post, one will go to the tip and one will go to the ring of your stereo jack. This is one point that you really want to make sure your soldering is good and your connections are stable. You're in business. Simply hook your patch wire up between the two and mount your Beat Buddy to your mic stand or a little side table or whatever, and you'll be good to go. This is how it looks mounted to my mic stand. On the left is my mixer, and right here is where the Beat Buddy goes in from the output. On this side over here, there is the stereo patch cord running down to my foot switch. On version 2, you can turn the intro fills on or off. Every time the unit is unplugged, it will go back to its default setting, which is on. So every time you plug the unit in, you will have to reset it. And how you do it is simply push in and hold, and then rotate the knob, and then click it again. Now we are set to country 1, and we'll go ahead and see what this sounds like. Come down to the foot switch, and we'll turn it on. If I want a fill, if I want a transition, push and hold. If I want to go back, push and hold. If I want to pause. If I want to start up again, don't hit this one, hit this one. It's simply a pause. Now, if you want to end the song, double tap. So if you're like me and you don't like all those outro fills, there's another way to do this. Let's start it. Now at the end of the song, pause it. And come up to your Beat Buddy and simply just change genre or the song. And now when you take it off of pause, nothing happens. It's all set to go on whatever it is that you want to start up again. If you're one of those that like the intro fills, we can turn them on. We're set to country 130, and we'll come down here to the foot switch, start it, pause it, simple. Happy drumming.